Ez már az. Na szevasztok srácok, üdvözletem mindenkinek. Én pont stream előtt egy kicsit még most farmolgattam, mert elméletek most Bajzúnak a cuccát ki lehet farm. A weapon bannerét, a weapon crafting materiálokat. Csak az a baj, hogy már nem volt idő, úgyhogy inkább félbe kellett hagynom, tudjunk jönni streamelni. Na srácok, ma Genshinezni fogunk délelőtt, mennyi van most? 11. Most délelőtt egy kicsit játszunk, nagyjából délután egy ilyen 2 órás session fogunk letolni, és este fél hét magasságában térünk vissza a query második részével, jól tudja. Bele is csapunk a lecsóba, nem megy most pofázás, úgyhogy hadd szóljon. Na bassza meg, az órám is még beindult. Jó, egy másodperc türelmet kérek srácok, és már is kezdjük a mai üdvözlöm mind. Jó, van a hang. Fasza. Questezünk, a fő questet toljuk. Semmi? Próbálgatom nézegetni, hogy hol lehetnek még ilyen rejtett kincsek, eldugva dolgok. Biztos, hogy lesz még itt. Annak a szarnak a tetején. Valami történt itt. Nem, azt hittem valami tényleg. Csak szarakodott. Tök jó, egyébként nagyon tetszik a sztoria. Érdekes. Az, hogy most az első, mondjuk úgy chapter része ennek ilyen nyomozós volt, egy gyilkosságot, elrablást.
I came here several times with my father when I was little.
Na, menj.
But stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will
Jó,
be to your
kajárdával
taste.
jöttünk itt,
Oh, don't worry. We
Naviával.
haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while. Paimon's getting excited already.
Persze,
In that
kajáról van
case,
szó,
I'll
már
go
megint
order
én.
for us first. Please wait here a moment.
Ooh,
Jó.
everything looks so
Kikérte a kaját.
good.
Úristen!
People
Miért
at
ülnek
Fontaine
ennyire
sure know
távol
how
az
to
asztal?
enjoy life.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make
Ugye,
a group
töltött
reservation for the
kenyér,
rest
meg
of Spina di Rosula
valami
next time.
faszonleves,
And if
valami
it's
rakott
not,
tésztás dolog.
Well, then
Tányosféle.
I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
you sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win
Jó,
that.
oké, örülök, hogy együtt.
True. Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food.
Na, és még rendel kaját. Gazdag a csaj.
Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Igen, tulajdonképpen
Right?
fel
Yet it
kell
was because this was
feloldódnak
such
az
a
emberek egy
preposterous
ilyen
notion that the
lötyáton.
investigation could never really move forward before.
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking. We were so close to hearing who was behind it.
Így.
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability, it's just that a different perspective is required in
Még nem
some
tudjuk,
matters.
hogy ki áll mögötte,
It's easy to
de
guard against and
volt egy
deceive a single
beépített
narrow perspective.
ügynökük,
A shift in
tolvaj,
thinking is
egy
required at
gyilkos,
such times in order to produce a
akit
breakthrough. Which
el
is
akartam mondani, hogy
exactly
ki
why the Spina
áll
di
minden
Rosula
mögött,
exists.
viszont ő
Those
feloldódott,
highfalutin folk are not all-knowing.
úgyhogy mielőtt el
That's
tudtam
why we
mondani,
exist.
és ki kell
To seep
deríteni,
into
hogy
the
ki
cracks where
a
filth
fő
falls through.
bűnöség.
Let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
Igen,
That's true.
hidroarkonda egy-két dolgot meg kell.
After the trial ended.
Tényleg, mit is akarunk a
Didn't
hidroarkontól
really seem like
kérdezni?
the right time or place to do it anyway.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon. I've heard
Igen.
that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect
Tudja,
you'll be
hogy a
waiting
végén
for quite a
tudunk beszélni
while,
majd.
considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Well, would you consider some more, unique ways? Perhaps even methods of, let's say, questionable legality?
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance.
Oké, lehet
I'm
tudunk
sure
beszélni
Lady
mégis.
Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play. Don't you think?
Ezt még egyszer meg kéne
Suggest
csinálni.
something a little more practical?
A
This plan
showműsort
seems
azok.
pretty hard to pull off.
És utána
We
tudunk
have to
beszélni.
go learn
Fili.
how to act, and acting's really hard.
All right, here's another.
Na,
Find a way
Péter.
to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then wake her up in the dead of night and
Ja,
demand
bogyó.
answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions.
Ez
I can
hülyeség.
testify
Persze,
that
a
this one
B-terv
works.
az, hogy menjél
When I'm
és
sleepy,
bújj
I'll do
az ágya
anything as
alá,
long as I
majd
can
amikor
finally
el
get
akar
some sleep.
aludni, akkor foggassuk.
That might work, but that's
Yes,
not really the problem. The problem is we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Igen, nem akarjuk ele.
Valid point. I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about all right, no more joking around. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations.
Na, mivel legyőztük,
False
talán.
accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
ja, mivel most szégyeli magát,
That if we
lehetséges
catch her
most.
while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Why
Lehet,
don't
be
we give it a
tudom
try
menni
after this meal? You know, strike while the iron is hot and all.
Csúcsú, cseh,
Paimon,
Most
did you
tökéletes.
drink my Fanta?
most is mész valahova?
Was this your drink?
No, it's fine.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't
De tényleg, hogy állsz a
recommend Fanta
játékkal
anyway.
már?
It
Holnap,
tastes
jó.
kind of salty and icky.
Is that so? Huh. If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Oké.
Yeah, we're
Aha.
stuffed.
Rend sincs. Töröld le a Fortnite-ot, vagy a kodot. Jó, a kodot ne. A Fortnite-ot töröld le, és utána akkor gyere.
Paimon can barely float anymore.
Igen, jó lenne, hogyha sétálna. Normál.
You know, like you.
De normális lenne.
Okay. As for expenses this...
Hey, Navia, what are you doing over
Oh, nothing.
Valami spekulált.
It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover. So this is goodbye, huh?
Igen.
Well,
Köszönjük
if you do
egymástól.
encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula.
Oké.
In any case,
Beszélhetünk majd később
I
is vele,
wish you
hogyha bármilyen
smooth
problémák.
sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
Na, szia! És jön az Act 2. Nem tudom, hogy hány act van. Arra kéne mennünk. Arra kéne mennünk. Akkor így. Bizony, ide kell jönni. Várjatok, akkor azt csináljuk, mint a nagyok. Itt a Fontainehez jövünk. Tényleg lehet, kicsit tudunk költeni. Mert elméletileg ezt a szökőkukat utat lehet fejleszteni. És lehet, na várjatok, kapunk egy ilyen kart, és kész. Ha minden igaz, ezt is 10-esre fel lehet fejleszteni. Majdnem minden világban van egy
There
ilyesmi.
aren't many people around anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Aranias might have been the last one.
Pasér! Úgy beszél hozzá.
Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler?
De most nem fáj a feje?
Are you hearing voices again?
Igen, halljuk megint a vasér.
That's kind of spooky.
Lehet tényleg a végén el kell mennünk
Are you
vasért.
sure we don't want to come back?
Vaché.
De valami francia szó.
Hey,
Mit jelenthet a vasár?
why are you still walking towards it? There might be something nasty in the water. Huh? Hang on.
Ismer minket
I'm trying
talán?
to hear a voice. It's hey,
Nem, franciával mindenünk. Vasár.
stop walking.
Jajjaj.
Come on, wake
Jajjaj.
up.
Ment a vízbe. Víz felé. Oceanid. Igen, ez az egyik boss egyébként.
Vaché. Are you my dear
Nem.
Vaché?
Nem vagy sok
No,
vasár.
wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vaché? Do you know where my love is?
Nem tudjuk.
Wait. Who am I?
Azt se tudja, hogy ő ki.
I'm very sorry.
Ajaj.
Fear I do
Csak a saját
not
nevét se
know.
tudja.
My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments
Elúszott így az
dissolved
emléke.
amidst the tide, never to be recovered. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since forgotten?
Ah.
Yes, that is what I was once.
Igen, egyszer még létezett.
But now,
Azt írja.
I do not know how I came
Tehát
to
ő
be like
ember
this
volt,
either.
ahogy itt a
I
legtöbb
only vaguely
lény.
remember being covered in light blue water, and then all grew dim.
Nem. Ő nem az a kislány. Light blue water could have been.
I also remember going to many places. I loved adventure,
Aha.
loved exploring places
Szeretett
of peril.
felfedezni, helyekre menni.
No matter where I went, Vaché would go with me.
Gondolom az a
I
szerelme
knew
volt.
how
Nem
dearly he
a
loved
Adamot.
me. And I also loved him equally as much.
Igen.
But now,
Loved.
we can no longer go back. No! Our reunion no longer has any meaning. There
akarja
is no
megtalálni.
way for us to create any new memories.
Érdekes.
The thought of me gives him no succor. So let it lie forgotten beneath the
Nem
waters.
akarja megint egyesüljenek.
If you meet Vaché, tell him not to look for me.
Ó, ha megtalálja Vasért, mondja azt, hogy lépjen túl.
That is the only thing I still... Perhaps that is so.
Nem biztos, hogy az a Vasért, hogyha
As I
megtaláljuk,
was submerged in the waters, losing
el fogja fogadni
consciousness,
azt a tényt, hogy felejtse.
I saw
Oceanidot.
Vaché above the surface. His eyes were filled with such sorrow, such longing. If only I could have comforted him, told him that I did not suffer. Is that what you call it? Dissolving.
Ó, akkor ő is így
I
elpárolgott, vízzé
consider it
vált.
a form of release. It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an
Akkor ezek
endless
szerint mindenki,
peace.
aki vízzé
Like the
változik,
water
ilyen
still
lényé
surface.
változik?
I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety.
Az első.
I think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think.
Oké.
Farewell then.
Akkor
I
ezek
am
szerint
glad that
Paimon
you
ezt az
were
egészet,
able to
amit most
sense my
átéltünk,
presence. Remember,
nem
if you see
látja,
Vaché,
csak mi.
tell him not to seek me out any longer.
Oké. Lényegében Oceanidtól megkaptuk azt a questet, side questet, hogy ne szóljunk ki Vasért. Itt meg a harc történt. Mi a franc? Komolyan elállítunk, és itt most megtámadták a város a robotok. Ő geós csaj? Ez majdnem olyan, mint Noel. Mert heavy. Heavy-s. Nem látom, hogy mi volt itt a melkasán. Nem vízes volt esetleg?
Dear God, it's a whole army of
Nem
Gardamex.
látszik. De kék ilyen izbasz van rajta, de ilyen egy teljes.
Chlorand?
Florind, az a csatós az itteni Arkonnak. Nem, akkor ő csak legyőzi ezeket. Akkor nem ő vezeti. Meg hát megtámadták őt.
Quick, now's our chance!
Lázadtak a gépek? Tetszik ez ott lesz. Szolykás a kislány. Wow! Nem tudom, nekem minden... Ha ezt a 4.2-ben meg lehet szerezni, ez tök jó lenne. 4.1-re nem fogunk rámenni, mert az a két karakter, akit lehet majd szerezni, annyira nem jó. Viszont ez a kettő tök tuti. De most a 4.0-án a második részben mindenképpen zsomlét fogjuk kiszedni, és hogyha még marad kis kiszarunk, akkor még Charlotte is.
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust. He would do the same, were he alive today.
Do not speak of my father!
Kallas volt az apja.
I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Cloran, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary...
Sorry, I
Ah,
did not consider
és
your
ilyen backstory-t
feelings.
lehet,
Whatever.
hogy mi van.
What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
Ja, honnan
I
tudta,
doubt I
hogy
know much
baj
more than
lesz?
you, but I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful.
Igen, elég
Your
nagy
performance
hatalma.
tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
Képeket irányít
I'm
ezek
sure they've
szerint.
known about
Is.
me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to act against me. And what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with the Maison Gardiennage could control them.
None
Igen.
of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a
Ó,
moment ago.
tehát csak azokat lehet
They are not the
irányítani
ones
itt,
used by the authorities to
ahol
enforce the
van
law.
szériálszám.
I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained
Ezeknek
them
nem
via
volt.
illegal means,
Azért tudták irányítani.
deploying them as
Valószínűleg
private
lehet most
force of
készíteni.
sorts.
What? Your point being that they're out
Ha
of Spina di
ilyen
Rosula's league then?
szériálszámok nem voltak, és
Yes.
van akkor egy
Be
gyár, azt
careful
kéne meg.
and do not act rashly.
I will continue investigating no matter what. We will bring the
Még egy
truth to
csillag is van a
light.
személyébe, beszarás.
That's my father's true last wish. Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clarand. But if you get any ideas, tell me first. I don't much appreciate being followed.
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon.
Oké, nem biztos, hogy
So I shall
megtámadnak.
stop following you. Good day, all.
Ilyen érdekes, hogy elájultunk itt a szökőkútnál,
I suppose that's the best news we've gotten today.
és egyből jött a támadás.
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Cloran was being sincere with you. If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations a little.
I know, I just... She's...
Ez a kamerálás. Ó, ez a mi.
Oh, thank
történt?
goodness! Paimon thought we were done for!
Igen, mivel mi
Those
elájultunk, így nem tudjuk.
Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us!
Elég gyenge a kislány.
Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Cloran who came out to save us too! We got lucky there.
Igen,
Oh,
köszönöm
come
meg.
now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal. As such, we're still partners.
It will take 50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina...
Jó, most megy a
Alright, you two.
segnyalás.
That's enough.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger? You sure did show up in the nick of time.
Igen, honnan tudta,
Well,
hogy
to be
bajban lesz?
honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Huh?
Hogy Paimon.
Paimon contributed somehow?
Paimonba
Ooh,
bukkantak és
Paimon's even more
Paimon
amazing
szó.
than she thought!
Paimon csak nekünk
Yes,
miket akar
all
megtenni.
thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake.
How did that help?
Ó!
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases
Véletlenül Paimon
when I
megitta az
suddenly
ő
thought of what you
italát.
said. That the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky.
Nyomkövetős volt az itala, és akkor ezért minket akartak megtámadni, és nem Naviát.
Fanta only comes in sweet
Fanta.
flavors. So how could it have tasted salty?
Nem
The
Fanta,
color of the
Fonta.
drink, if I recall, had also been a bit off.
So the Fanta had been spiked with water from the primordial sea?
Yes. So, if you hadn't drunk that cup for me...
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you as we speak for saving the boss.
Huh. Really?
Igen. Még jó, hogy ránk akartak törni.
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate.
Érdekes egyébként,
But
hogy tényleg
whoever
minket.
did this left no trace at all. That's when I figured out that you might be in
Miért
danger
akarták
and
Naviát
hurried
megtámadni?
here as quickly as I could.
But why would they go after us too? All we did was defend Linny and
Még mindig nem
Cora
jöttek
for
rá,
his
hogy azért
name.
nem mi ittuk meg azt a szart.
Now,
Well, you did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their name. Speaking of which, did anything strange happen when you drank the primordial seawater?
well, it can't be coincidence that the traveler
Jó, hogy még
fainted
ittuk
just
is
now.
abból a vízből.
She said that she heard that voice calling for Vache again.
Vasér,
Oh,
most
and
elmondtam.
this time Paimon heard it too. But it was real faint. Does this situation have to do with the primordial... Does that mean the primordial seawater raises
Érzékenyek
someone's
vagyunk.
sensitivity to hydro when it's
Hidróra.
used on people who are not from Fontaine?
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing to...
New intel? What?
Well, let's hear... Oh.
Nézzük már meg itt a vizes, hogy milyen. Mert elméletileg minden
Vaché.
szekcióba
That name doesn't
meg lehet
ring a bell.
változtatni a
I suppose he
Travelernek
hasn't stepped
a
forward as a witness in
skilljét.
court lately.
És hát eddig lehetett
Since he saw
Dendro,
that young woman
Geo,
dissolve, he was at least at
alapszeres
the crime
volt,
scene.
Elektro,
But he never gave testimony
És
or
most
any
itt szerintem már
information
vizes
regarding
is
people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Could
nem
he
hiszem.
have been
hát
threatened? Yes, thank you. This is... Oh, you mean...
Well, you did say that
Oké,
our
meg kell,
farewell
ki
meal
kell
didn't really
nyomoznunk,
count.
hogy
That means,
ki akart
besides,
minket
we're in this
megölni.
now whether we like it or
Így
not.
mindig.
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased.
You talk too much. Well, in that case, let's head back to one of our bases, shall we? I'll
Okay,
arrange
bázisunkba.
accommodations for you.
Menni.
We also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners. But we'll take that one step at a time, I guess.
Don't worry, you two. With us around, our base is definitely secure.
Jó, oké. Elméletileg most merre kell menni? Na jó, ezt akartam megnézni. Aha, oda. Vártok, ha már itt vagyunk még a Fontaine-nél. Nézzük már meg, hogy mennyi kell hozzá a fejlesztés. Még 2 hidrószizsír kell, srácok, és még kapunk 2 ilyen szart. Na! Ez tök jó. Tudunk valamit még fejleszteni? Mert azt tudom jól, hogy ha őt felfejlesztjük, ő kurva jó lesz később. Hát lehetne őt is fejleszteni. Tudjátok mit? Fejlesztjük fel még egyet. Jó, még egyet. És most már nem tudjuk. Aha, jól gondoltam. Nem baj. Ennyi így elég. És ha egyet még felfejleszünk, mert most van 50-en. Aha, akkor lesz. Még egy. És mennyit van ebből a szarból?
Now, this is what I
Jaj.
call a moment of...
5. Ebből 3. Még ezt egy kicsit elhasználjuk. Most vagyunk. Ja, faszom. Jó. 87-nél, az tökéletes. Ezt akartam megnézni a history, hogy mennyi kell ebből még. Szajút nyitottuk 4 csillagon, szóval akkor kell még egy 10-es nyitás. Még csak 3-nál tartunk. Basszus kulcs, akkor kell még ebbe a szarból 7. Jó, nem baj. Egy pillanat. Csináltunk itt valamit. Ó, hogy ennek is van egy ilyen phase 2-je. Yes! Complete a crystallize and swear element trial in the Temple of Leon. Vannak itt ilyen szarok. Trial-öket is lehetne csinálni. Extend Anemo karakter other than the traveler to phase 3. Ó! Tehát akkor Phase 3-ra fejlesztjük, akkor kapunk még valamit. Ez tök jó. Igen, nekünk ez a quest kell. Ezt csináljuk. Kaphassunk még több dolgot. Jó, akkor srácok, teleportálódjunk. Teleportálódjunk. Szerintem ide. Aha. Elég gyors lesz. Jó, és akkor lefelé kell majd ugrani. Nincs semmi? Nincs. Aha, ide kellett jönni. Aha! Megkukizzuk.
It's right up ahead.
I've been keeping watch, demoiselle. I haven't spotted.
Very good.
I shall find room.
Thank you, Malus. Now, let's continue, traveler.
Ide? De, erre kell jönni.
To act.
Srácok, akkor itt kell lemenni. Ezt kinyitjuk. Azt nézzétek! Lemegyünk a csatornákba. Ez tök jó. Ez nekem tetszik. Végre csatornákba lemegyünk, mert lent is lesz... micsoda? Mondjátok már. Bonfire. Így a leggyorsabb lemenni. Aha. Itt nem lett fenn semmi, mi? Te ki vagy? Hopp, gyilkocska. Elvettük a gyilkocskát. És így azért szerintem gyorsabban le tudunk menni. Hát aránylag. Aha. Nézzétek, lehet erre is menni, lehet arra is menni. Én körbe akarok itt nézelődni, mert még itt lenn nem voltunk. Kutyus? Hopp, ott egy gyilkocska. Várjatok. Ó, basszus, se elment a gyík. Na mindegy. Jaj, de gyík, jaj, de gyík. Meg akarom kukizni, hogy itt nincsen semmi olyan, amit kihagyunk. Nem. Jó, akkor arra nem tudom menni. Viszont ott van egy... nézzétek. Aha. Ez. És ez. Csatorna. Nagyon tudkó ez a csatornás rész. Nem tetszik. Lefele kell menni, így azért megyünk felfelé, hogy meg tudjuk nézni, hogy itt mit hagytunk. Úristen! Hatalmas teknős van itt. És nem beszél a teknős, nem baj. Nem baj, akkor is beszélgettünk egy kicsit vele. Így érez a törődés, hogy mint hogyha ő is egy ember lenne. Egy emberszerű lenne. Arra is lehetne menni, de nem megyünk. Ha, oda kell menni. Hopp, 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 hopp. Majdnem. Itt is hagytuk valamit. Arra nincs semmilyen ádika. Hopp, itt. Yes! Vele is lehetne beszélni, de nem fogok. Erre. Szerintem ezután gyorsan kiugrok egy pohár vízre és mindjárt vagyunk.
This is your base? It's not quite what
Post.
Paimon imagined.
Látok? Szünet. Gyorsak volt.
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the present circumstances, I...
Well, our funds have been a little tight lately. After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical
Lent vannak a
profiteering.
csatornába.
In fact, our funds often
Adások.
come from citizenry who support us.
Seems like it's tough times for everyone.
Nem gazdagok, csak
But if you have the support of the people,
végülis
then
gentrik,
that sounds like it's
elszegényedett
worth it.
nemesek, akik fönn akarják
To be
tartani
honest,
a
our
látszatot, hogy
financial
azok.
situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago.
Ó, tehát az apja.
I'm
Alexa,
afraid I'm not
az
quite his
apja,
equal.
mikor még élt, akkor
Father.
sokkal jobb volt a pénzügyi
He was
helyzetük.
the previous boss's Spina di
Szegények.
Rosula, right? How did he...
Biztos, hogy meghalt a
Mademoiselle,
fater?
if you'll allow me to explain.
Nem a fater a boss.
I'll explain it myself. I suppose I couldn't run from this topic forever.
De most jutott ez
And
az
as
ötlet, hogy
partners,
lehet az apja.
this is something I hope they
Nem
can
halt meg?
understand. My
Fiatal
father's
látta.
name is Callus. Yes, the same one they
Azt tudjuk.
call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets. 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend, but he chose a
megvádolták
duel to defend his
saját
honor
barátját.
instead of standing trial. He died in the duelist's ring.
A duelben meghalt.
no.
Párviadalban.
But I do not believe my father was a murderer. I'm sure he was set up. At the time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up and prove his innocence. But
Igen, hogyha
strangely,
normális tárgyalás
he not
lett
only
volna, akkor még
requested the
élhetne.
duel himself, but rumor has it that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender, determined to die in the arena.
Meghalt inkább.
3 years later, I still don't understand why he did that. How could he protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up his chance to defend
Igen.
himself. The closest piece of info I have
Nincs
is that
nyoma.
my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
Ó, a
Ah,
fater is
so that's why
nyomozott.
you're so determined to get to the
És
bottom of that
lehet, hogy a
case.
fater túl közel merészkedett, és majdnem megtudta, hogy
That's
ki
right.
a bandavezér, a fő
Also tried to
szálapozgatója,
investigate the murder
és
my
lehet
father was
ezért
implicated in.
halhatott meg.
But I haven't found a single new clue in my countless reviews of the investigation records.
Hogy vagy,
However,
Exa? Milyen
I
napod van?
believe that if the murder case is related to those behind the disappearances, they must know something. I must know what really happened.
Jó.
Was my father coerced? Framed? Even if he really did kill his friend, I must get to the
Igen,
truth.
ki kell nyomoznunk, hogy mi
If
történt a
only he'd been
faterrel.
more open with me when he
Annyi
was still
szálon fut
alive.
megint ez a dolog.
He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications when giving birth to me.
Igen, annyi
And now,
a születéskor
here I
halt
am
meg.
investigating his death.
Seeking the truth, yes. Nyomozzuk.
Demoiselle, please, if there is any...
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet
Pontosan. Sok mindent
all it
csinált.
took was
Sabin,
one murder
de szétmegy a
case
fejem.
for him to
Ó.
be dubbed Callus the Unfaithful.
Sajnálom.
Even
Frontos
our
vagy te is?
supporters decreased greatly due to that incident, hence our strained finances at present.
Szerencsére most még nekem nem fáj.
If Callus was such a good man, wouldn't people at
Én
least
félek,
be
mert
a little
tegnap dörgött,
suspicious when he was
villámlott, minden
accused?
volt itt. Ismét.
No. Perhaps
Most már
people
megint
just
meleg.
revel in that
Szóval
kind of drama.
egyszer ilyen, egyszer
It's
olyan
not
idő.
something exclusive to people from
És hát
Fontaine,
most
really.
20-ára is mondja a
Everyone's like
kibaszott
that.
meleget.
People love watching the evil turn over a new
Kíváncsi
leaf.
vagyok, hogy milyen lesz a
But they
tűzijáték.
also enjoy watching good people fall into an abyss from one slip-up just as much.
Remélem megint lesz helyük a Gellértegen.
Never mind.
There is one
Oh, her? Yeah, that's not the sort of thing that you can just let go and move on from.
Miss Clorand has always placed great emphasis on the honorable nature of the duel. If her opponent doesn't yield, she will not stop either. She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him,
Ismerték,
but
aha.
seeing how he was resolute, there was only ever one choice. She
It's not that I don't understand her.
Don't worry, Navia.
Még mindig bosszantja, hogy
Everyone
meghalt a
knows how you
fater.
feel.
Afterward, Miss Clorand told us that at the start of the duel, yes, that is our understanding.
Oh, Papa. What madness drove you to ask the person who killed you to take care of me? All right.
Igen,
Anyway,
mert aki
that's the information I wanted to
megölte
share
őt,
with you.
ő gondozta
Even
egy
if it
ideig.
did sound like I was just complaining
Choice.
towards the end. Thanks. You two should go and rest. This
Nekem is a Szabinból az utolsó napom, úgyhogy hétfőn vissza kell mennem dolgozni,
Please,
úgyhogy...
relax and get some sleep. We...
Ami részben most nem is nagyon bánok. Vissza kell mennem. Na, nézzük meg. Oké, tehát ott a Spina Resolve-ba pihentünk.
Paimon slept so well. This place feels
Csatornában
almost
jók
too
lehet
safe.
aludni.
Huh?
Oké.
Navia? Where did the other two go?
Ja, hol van a másik kettő?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters. There's not much for them to do here at the moment.
Nem tudok
It's
itt
the
tenni.
feeling that you're just trying to get them off your back.
Ne legyenek a seggébe.
But never mind that. When did you get back? Were you waiting here the whole time?
No, I just returned
Nem,
after going out
most
for a
érkezett
while.
vissza, nem vált rá.
I did some investigating yesterday
Nyomozott
regarding the name Vache.
Hogy ki az a vasár?
So you
Na?
didn't sleep at all?
És aludt.
How could I after having such critical new evidence appear?
Na,
Guess Paimon wasn't speaking for everyone just now.
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been wiped from existence. It doesn't seem to have a match anywhere.
itt ha
I
kitörölték volna ezt a
suspect that
nevet.
those behind this have already taken steps to hinder an investigation
Ah.
from this angle. But that
Nagyon durva.
does prove that this Vache person is a key witness in the incident.
Igen, fontos
That mean we're too late though?
ember lehet nyomozásba. Ez tök jó.
No. There is one ray of hope. One place in Fontaine that they would find almost impossible to threaten, no matter how much they
Az
wanted
Autobot
to.
ezt bedobta.
And that is the archives kept by Chief Justice Neuvillette. A place where detailed if the Oceanid you met is one of the young women who went missing recently, we should be able to find some related information there.
Jó.
So Nervalette maintains an archive of case files?
Igen, akkor növülethez el
Guess
kell
that's the
mennünk,
hard-working
mert
Chief Justice
ott
for you.
lehetséges
In that
lesz
case,
valami
let's
nyom.
go talk to him.
Nem lehet
Aren't you
beszélni vele?
coming
Ajaj,
along, Navia?
ő nem jön?
No, it's nothing. Let's go see the Honorable
De
Chief Justice.
mégis. Valamiért óckodott tőle, hogy menjünk oda. Pillanat. Ide. Aha,
The palais is right up
és ide
ahead.
kell jönni.
Come on.
Várjatok egy percet. Két unlockable van. Egy, kettő, igen, és van még egy. Ó, jéj. Ez is megvan. Biztos, hogy lesz még valami. Nem, ennyi. Másodperc még. Ezt is megnézzük. Mennyinél tartunk? 74. És mennyi ilyen szarunk van? 86 kellene. Nekünk mennyi olyan geószar van? El tudunk használni. Ó, elhasználtuk azt is! Yes! Meg tudjuk venni. Nem, csak 24 van. 24 dodónk van, amit még rákölthetünk, szóval ez kurva jó. És mennyi van így? 88! Majdnem megvan a 90, szóval egy biztos, hogy meg lesz. Úgyhogy utána meg rámegyünk a másodikra van. Yay! Ah, basszus, srácok, egy másodperc. Ezt meg kell néznünk, mert elméletileg azt mondták, ha ez megvan... Basszus, tényleg. Ezt le kéne győzni. Exa ebbe tud segíteni egyébként ennek a bossnak a legyőzésébe? Mennyire vagy tápos? Defeat the Emperor of Fire and Iron. Twin Molten Horns to destroy the Emperor of Fire and Iron. Twin Molten Horns one time. Az nem tudom mi a szar. Ebbe kellene majd valakinek a segítsége. Ezt még nem győztük le. A tesztránt azt még meg kell csinálnom gyorsan. Ez megint más. Igen, az az unlockable. Ezt megcsináltuk. Igen, kész. Na jó. Akkor még nincsen, akkor talán holnap fog érkezni az új event. A Paimonos hülyeség, amikor Bennetet meg lehet kapni. Mert már a kintieknél már kiírták az event.
Halt! Please state your business here. The Chief Justice is
Steady.
presently occupied with official matters.
Huh. This place does look pretty
Igen,
heavily
mutatom.
guarded. Guess that proves that Nervalette's
A
files are really
Fontaine-nél az a
secure.
tüzes rák, vagy mi a
Hey.
franc.
Don't you recognize us?
Azt egyszer le kéne győzöm. Én a két táncolót legyőztem.
Who are you? Just to
Most
be
ezt kellene
clear,
legyőzni.
I don't care who you are or who you might be related to. Our rules make no exceptions.
See? They've got great discipline, too.
Yep, yep.
Nem
I can
mutatjuk.
tell.
If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit.
Ha
Unlike some,
viccelődtök,
we're
bemutatom az
busy.
ajtót.
So please leave if you don't have a reason to be here.
No. What I'm...
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steam.
We're here today to
Okay.
report and archive some info...
Huh. Is that even?
Of course.
All right then, I'll let you through.
Okay.
The chief just...
Beengedni minket, tök jó. Mutatom, hogy melyikre gondoltam. Már itt vagyunk. Erre. Erre. Mert tulajdonképpen az Emperor of Fire and the Iron-t kell megcsinálnunk az egyik szinten. Méghozzá... Itt írta. Itt. Tehát először is le kell győznünk, meg ezt itt kell törni valami Twin Molten Horns. Az nem tudom micsoda. Valami két szarvát le kell győzni. Nem volt vele gond, úgy emlékszem. Jó, de én béna szar vagyok, szóval én jobban szeretem a boss harcokat mindig is másokkal legyőzni. Nem is értem, hogy az Elden Ring hogy sikerült nekem. Egyszer öltem meg. Értem. Na, bekopogtuk is, megnézem.
Please come in.
Értem, semmi gond. Majd ha kijutunk, akkor megnézzük. Legalábbis megkukizzuk, hogy mennyire erős.
Sorry to barge in, Monsieur
Nekem sincs, én még
Dribbler.
egyszer sem voltam.
We only
Én a
want to
másik
get in
kettőt
because
győztem le. Az első táncoló pár az gyorsabban lement,
It's all right.
a második már nagyon
Please let me
nehezen.
know how I may be of
Jó
assistance to
van,
you.
megnézem.
So you're not mad at us?
We're looking for a man called Vache. He
Vache.
may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Igen.
Ah, I
Nyomoznunk kell.
see. In that case, please wait here a moment
Igen,
while I browse through the
Jó
files.
életet meg lehet kapni majd a következő 4.1-es frissítésnél, meg elméletileg lesz ott egy amenósrác, az is ilyen kicsit ilyen piros, barnás, feketés haja van, ilyen tüsi. Tehát két dedit lehet konkrétan kapni. Csak nem tudom, ő vizes?
Unfortunately,
Ajaj.
I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vache has been involved in any case, criminal
Aha.
or civil, in
Innen
the
is
past
el
several
lett
years.
szüntetve a Vacher
There are no
név.
records of him either in the files or in my memory.
Traveler, what if it was
Vagy
really just a
benne van
dream?
ő is, és nem akarta megmutatni a Vacher
Is
nevet.
that so? All right then.
Ahem.
Ahem.
Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel.
Ő ölte meg
Your
ezek
father,
szerint.
Callus, was a truly exceptional man. We deeply regret his passing.
Ezek szerint ő ölhette meg a Vachert. Ó.
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Neuvillette?
Huh.
Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just express some tendril of regret? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind your words.
Igen,
You
nincsen
only said
érzelem.
those things because you
Szavak
felt
mögött.
like you should.
Csak azért mondtam, mert ezt kellett mondani.
It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through the guards to talk to you as a last resort. You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you
Igen, ő
still
is
allowed
mondta,
the
hogy
duel to
valami
go
nem
ahead.
stimmelt az üggyel
In your
kapcsolatban.
eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared to those cold laws you hold so dear. If you truly regret my father's death, then why didn't you call a stop to the duel?
Igen,
Why didn't
megállíthatta
you
volna.
give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let him die, despised and hated by all?
Igen, megállíthatta volna, és
Everything
nem
was
ölték volna
hanging
meg.
on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed everything. There are still so many things I never got to tell him. So many questions he still owes me answers to. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
Egyszerre.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly alike. You keep all kinds of
Rodas
things in your
Mátyás, köszönöm a
heart and
követést, és
never say a
szia!
word to
Kellemes
anyone.
napot, szervusz, szervusz. Most néztem. Nem jött az értesítés hirtelen. Volt itt egy
It's not
kis
so much
delay.
that you can't
Szia, szia,
feel,
milyen napod
but
van,
that
hogy
you
vagy?
would never express anything. Oh well. In any case, everyone already knows full well the
Kurva.
apathy of the Chief Justice. My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go,
De
traveler.
legalább jó,
and
hogy
Paimon.
elmondta neki, bassza meg. Legalább kioktatta a francba, hogy tényleg rajta múlt az egész, hogy az apja túléli vagy nem, és nem tett semmit. A gyökér nem tett semmit. Hagyta meghalni. Ez a baj, hogyha az ilyen nagyhatalmú emberek bármit megtehetnek, és nem szimpatizálnak más emberekkel, saját önös dolgukkal vannak elfoglalva,
Rain.
baszhatják.
It's raining.
És megint
You're
esik.
right. Wasn't it still sunny when we went into the building? And there shouldn't be
Sütött a
any
nap,
active
mikor
trials
bementek, most
today.
meg már megint.
How strange.
És nincs is tárgyalás.
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of murder, it was also raining.
Ó,
What
akkor
is
is
it? Did you think of something?
valami... Várj. Akkor is esett, mikor minket tartóztattak. Akkor is esett, amikor az ő faterja meghalt. Most valami fog történni. Az eső mindig valami előrejelzés.
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall
Ez
there.
érdekes.
Why? Do you think the rain could have affected the crime scene?
Yes.
That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value.
Huh?
Oh? Wait. You don't mean...
Dehogy
So
nem.
you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water and then got washed away with the rain? Yeah.
Ó,
If that's what had
az
happened,
igazi
then no one would have
gyilkos.
believed your dad, even if he explained what he saw to the authorities.
Igen, mert az igazi
I really
gyilkos...
think I found a true genius for a partner. You're
Mindjárt, srácok.
completely right.
Az igazi
How did I
gyilkos
not
vízé
connect the dots
változott,
earlier?
és a faterjára kenték az
Let's go to
egészet.
Poisson.
És a vízi
With
gyilkos
this new lead in
elmosta.
mind, we'll get to the bottom of my father's case for sure.
Ennek van valami tényleg
Yeah,
alapja.
we're gonna make progress for sure this time.
Kezd
Do you want
összeállni.
to go with me
Tök
now?
jó ez a
Or
nyomozós
do you want
dolog.
to head over by yourself later?
Menjünk
Great.
basszus kucs
Let's
együtt.
go then.
Menjünk együtt. Menjünk együtt. Menjünk együtt. Meg kell csinálni ezt a quest. Ó, hogy erre kell jönni. De váltok. Jó, hogy oda le, de váltok. No. Itt van egy ilyen. Akkor csináljuk meg azt, hogy Exa, megpróbáljuk ezt a questet, mit szólsz? Mert hivatalosan ezt le kéne darálnom most. Megnézzük most. Csak az a baj, hogy nem tudom, hogy milyen ez a... bossy boss. Mennyire erős.
Time to act. No, my sword! Oh, it's revealed!
No rest for...
Ott van! Ó, bazd meg, én most berakok mindent is.
As you wish, me.
Le sem megy az élete! Úristen!
Witness the power of Gua.
Le sem megy a HP-ja ennek a szarnak.
By royal decree.
A bitter purpose.
Body and mind.
Pillanat, srácok! Ajajajajaj. Tudjátok, mit nem csináltunk? Stamina. Ezeket most benyomjuk, srácok. Legyen egy ilyen is. Legyen így ilyen is, és hadd szóljon.
Mind the side effect.
Boba, get them! Oz, reveal thyself!
Ó, bazd meg! Ott van! Ott van!
Wings of darkness, come!
Rain outlines your fate.
Oké, leszedjük mind a két ollót! Mind a két ollót leszedjük a karjáról. Ott van, mind a két ollót leszedtük.
Taking a
Ott
turn for
van!
the better.
Még ezt is! Leszedtük!
No, my soul. Rain
Ott van! Gyere, 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 gyere! Adjad, adjad, adjad papának!
Time to act. Body and mind.
Shadow Raven!
Ott van!
Boba, get them!
Ó, bassza meg!
I summon thee! Oz, reveal...
Le kell szedni erről is!
Let me weave you a verse.
No rest. Mind the side effect.
Ott van! Szedi!
Time to act. Body and
Bassza
mind.
meg!
Nice and spun...
Midnight Fantastic.
He's adapted with steam.
Witness the power of Gurwa.
Ezt kell leszedni kurva gyorsan! Oké, leszedtük!
By royal decree... Boba, get...
Ott van! Adja neki! Adja!
Not good. No, my sword.
I summon...
Ott van! Vízzel! Csak a vízzel! Ulti! Exa igazad volt, egyedül is megy. Csak nem volt olyan könnyű. De várjatok, megcsináltuk ezt egyszer. Nézzük meg. Mind a kettő sikerült, vagy csak az egyik? Mind a kettő! Destroy Iron Tree, Molten Horse van. És az egész kész. Úristen, meg vagyunk! És ez hány napig van? 9 napig van még akkor ez a tesztrun. Tudjátok mit? Azt majd menet közben magunktól csinálom meg. Rámegyünk erre is. Leszettük ezt is, tök jó. 50 wish kellene csinálni, hát ezt szerintem bukni fogjuk, mert 37 nap van ebből a bannerből, és azt az 50 wish nem itt fogjuk elbaszni. A 12 sztár. A 12 sztár az Abyssben kellene, ezt se tudjuk majd megcsinálni. Bossokat már nem fogjuk tudni legyőzni. És... jó, hát akkor megyünk vissza. Aha. Ide kellett jönnünk. Jó, megvan. Zsír! Ez tök jó volt.
Whoa! What a huge ship!
There's no need to be so surprised.
Szép nagy hajó.
Well, my father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past.
Igen,
Paimon
szép
was
útja
confused
volt.
why a group was such a... But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself, she's been convinced.
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began,
Meggyőzte
after
a
all.
látvány.
It's our main base, our home.
Oké. Ez a main base. Oda kéne eljutni. Hát innen. Jó, akkor megyünk erre.
Body and mind.
Vásárcsalnok? Lehet itt valamit tőle venni? Jó, nem vásárolunk. De ezt viszont... nem. Se. A francba? Nem lehet lopni se.
Time to act.
Hopp, viszont van valami. És meg vagyunk. Mondom, fel kell menni teljesen a tetejére. Igazából én már jártam itt egyszer, mert én próbáltam ezeket az itteni sigilleket összegyűjteni, hogy a bonfire-öket, a statue-kat tudjam fejleszteni, és elég jól haladtunk. Látok? Aha, ezért is kaptunk. Remote, mennyink van? 61. Kevés. És... Nagyon kevés. Zsugli az viszont nagyon kell. Nagyon kell. Az jó, legalább nem fogunk
Apologies for the wait,
kapni
demoiselle, and our most
sérülést.
important
Megvan.
partners. You said before that you still had some business at the court.
You still remember, right?
Yes, the case was quite similar.
Could you tell us?
Yeah, of course. Many years at a glance.
Wait!
Yes, he did. If you drink synth, and if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety while lacking energy to do anything. It's an extremely dangerous substance. As he oversaw Poisson, my father was compelled to put a stop to synth abuse and called for a complete ban of it.
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath, but no matter how much they threatened or bribed him, he refused to yield. Not only that, Boss became determined to find the mastermind behind the synth operation and put an end to the problem once and for all.
Zsarolónak,
Yes.
fenyegetőnek.
But the enemy was very cunning. So he could never get anything out of the dealers. All of whom only sold the stuff and weren't privy to the rest of the operation. Recognizing that, my father decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with them.
Ó, titkos
Finally, he
alkukat
was able
kötött.
to convince someone to become his informant. The man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly ashamed about his work
Foss.
after seeing many families destroyed by synth abuse. That night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside estate. He planned to meet up and exchange information with Jacques over some food.
Oké.
But then,
Információt akar
we
cserélni
heard two
Jacques-kal.
gunshots from the courtyard. We raced to the scene and found my father, still holding a gun, and Jacques, who was already dead on the ground.
Igen, tehát Jacques-ot akkor ő ölte meg. Elméletek.
Happen? Aren't they on the same side?
Sounds
Az
just like Winnie's
informátort
case,
ölte
doesn't it?
meg. Igen,
In
kicsi
both
furcsa.
cases, the culprit seemed obvious, but neither appeared to have any motive at all. Looking back on it, though,
Biztos nem őt
I
akarta
now
megölni.
believe the most important clue was something we all overlooked at the time. There were precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now. Back then, we all just thought they were
Látok.
some costumes that Jacques used to disguise himself at the banquet. But, considering it
Kosztümöket
now,
találtak.
it's almost certain that they belong to a third person at the scene.
Igen, egy harmadik
One
személy is
extra
lehetett.
person will also need to reconsider why the two shots were fired.
És 2 lövés volt.
You're right.
2
We
lövést adtak
still
le.
don't know what happened. But my intuition tells me that we're on the right track to
Akkor
figuring it all out.
lehetséges, hogy ketten lettek volna még
I'm
Jacques
finally
és
headed towards the
Paterián
truth.
kívül még ott.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. It's unlikely that he turned on Boss with
Kellemes
zero
napot szavaztok,
warning.
srácok, üdvözletek
I think
mindenkinek.
this third person is
Tényleg, Ludas
probably
Martin,
the
neked milyen
key to
napod
the
van?
full truth.
Hogy vagy?
On that note, however, even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as you're and your father's butler, I must still offer a word of warning. Our opponent is insidious and cruel. They
Igen,
are extremely difficult to
figyelmeztek
deal with,
minket,
and
hogy
Boss has already
veszélyesek
lost
vagyunk.
his life trying to bring them to justice. Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time of peace, and we have been allowed to live out our lives. There is no need to follow your father's path. It would be both wise and in line with Boss's wishes to step back and give up on the case.
If that's indeed what he wished for, then he should have told me that himself.
Igen, hogyha
Was
ezt
I not
gondolta
the
volna
closest
Pateri,
person to
akkor...
him?
Ja, neki
And yet,
kellett volna elmondani.
I was the one most kept in the dark. What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew?
De csak meg akarta volna
Did he
Naviát
manage to
óvni.
protect anything in the end?
Ne,
Synth
pont
is
őt.
still here. Callous the unfaithful is still his epithet.
Igen, ez a
Spina
szint a
di
drog még mindig
Rosula
itt
is
van.
barely getting by.
Valószínűleg a gyilkos is még mindig itt van.
Nothing has changed. Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death and live out my life just as meaning. I've never accepted that. Ever.
Huh?
Not since that day.
Ki fogjuk
And
nyomozni
certainly not
mindenképpen.
now. I want to
Ő
find
se
out
fogja
the
feladni.
real answer for everyone's sake.
Most felszívja magát
For the
jó
missing
nagyra,
girls, for the victims.
Davia.
és lesz a végén egy csatakiáltás.
This is indeed the best moment to act.
Azt fogja mondani,
Your
hogy
partner
soros! Ja,
appears to
nem.
be quite reliable.
So you do know something else, Malus.
Yes,
Igen,
I do.
mégis tud valamit. Ha?
In fact, even before that banquet, Boss already knew of the connection between Synth and the serial disappearance. But what drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation that you, Demoiselle, had been selected as the next target to disappear.
Igen, ő lett volna a következő. Tudta,
Boss
Komoljuk, hogy
also didn't tell you
ő
that
lett
he
volna.
had been diagnosed with a rare illness. The doctors told him that he had no more than 5 years left to live.
Ó, tehát még 5
And the
évet
serial
jósoltak a
disappearances
dokiknek.
case caused him great anxiety.
Tehát így is most
5
meghalt
years
volna a
was
faterja.
nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict. But once he
Neki kevés
passed
lett
away, all the danger would pass on to you. Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He
Valamit
claimed
megcsinált.
to have already gotten his hands on some key incriminating evidence for the other side, and even told some members of Spina de Rosula about the details.
Valamit tudott a
But
fater.
as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public.
Aha, és
If
direkt azt
something were to
mondta,
happen to you, then he and all those he
hogy mindent tud
told
meg
would
néhány ember,
immediately
és hogyha
expose
bármi
all they knew
történik
about
vele,
Synth and the disappeared
mindenki megtud.
victims.
És direkt így bebiztosította a
So
lányát.
nobody would be able to get off scot-free.
Ah,
As we've
Ne
seen,
legyen
Boss's
sérülés.
tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other side has not tried to take Demoiselle's life.
igen, nem akarták megölni
No,
eddig.
I don't believe it. He never
hiszem.
appeared to look sick to me.
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful were still far preferable than losing face in front of his daughter.
So he chose to die in silence
Pontosan, inkább
so that
meghalt,
he could protect me.
hogy megvédjen téged.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, Demoiselle.
Hát így is lehet felfogni, de
What
hát...
Boss wanted to hand to you was not a parasol, but a sword. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for the sake of everyone involved, I'm sure he'd be extremely proud.
Ó, büszke lenne.
That
Ki
fool.
akarja nyomni.
Couldn't he have just given it to me straight? No. He might have set up everything precisely because he never thought I'd be able to understand him. Is that the
Igen, nem
amount of
mondhatta volna.
confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I
Igen,
am
mert most
now?
próbálja kérdőre vonni, hogy az apja mit
I
gondolhatott.
suppose that's
Amit
true.
már bármit mondhatott,
With the way he'd
meghalt.
set things up, if I had wanted, I could have
Beleképzelhető
just
bármit,
lived
meg
out
ő
my
is.
life without a care in the world.
De csak annyit akart, hogy
Thankfully,
biztonságban
he
éljen a
rarely
lánya,
talked to
és
me
ennyi.
about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case, Malus, what was the key evidence that he shared with
Na
you?
mi volt az a nyom, amit
It's the
meg akart?
location where Synth is produced.
Igen, a drogot hol csinálják?
Essentially, it's the enemy's headquarters.
Ó, a bázisa.
When he was threatening the enemy, Boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found. But if you want to use it against the enemy, you'll still have to take several things into consideration.
Why? If we know where the place is, can't we just go storming in?
You mustn't forget
Nem
that
tud
we're
bemenni, csak
fighting
úgy.
against a mysterious and dangerous
Igen, egy
organization
veszélyes
that's
szervezettel
been in
nem mennénk.
operation for decades. There's no telling what might be lying in
Bármi
wait
lehet
at their
ott.
headquarters. We also, but a single visit to their headquarters would be tantamount to a formal declaration of war. The worst case would be that we leave empty-handed,
Igen, és a legrosszabb
but also
eset, hogy
open
üres
ourselves
kézzel
up to
távoznánk
full
ott.
retaliation.
Teljes
In
viszonylag.
that case, why not work with the Fontaine Authority?
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case.
Hát igen.
We have no idea just how thoroughly they may have been infiltrated.
Pontosan. Azért nem megyünk az Arkonnak
That's true.
a csapatát
my father really
kérni
had no
segítségét,
choice.
hogy jöjj... Na,
Things
az
are
Arkon
different
embereinek
now.
a segítségét nem
It should
kérhetjük
be a
be, sose
lot
lehet tudni,
easier to
hogy
prove the
mennyi
other side's
beépített
guilt,
ügynökük
now
van
that
ott
we've connected
az
since with the
ellenségnek.
disappearances
Szóval
case.
You sound like you've put a lot of thought.
I am the butler, after all. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake.
Thank you for all of that, Malus.
Let me think. One conclusion I came to was that the enemy must be quite familiar with Spina di Rosula, or at least have an informant. When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, if the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must... After several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, I've narrowed... The first is
Megvannak az
Florent,
emberek.
Spina di Rosula's senior advisor.
Huh? Florent?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people Boss trusted the most, which also means that he was someone who understood Boss really well.
3 ember
Thanks to
állok
his
el.
position within Boss's innermost circle, he always... There's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head
Marcel.
of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Marcel is.
Uncle Marcel.
It's a guild in Poisson. Boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence.
Ah.
In the beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods, but now they're one of the richest guilds around with a lot of business connections in the city.
So, they're like a sister organization of Spina di Rosula?
Yes, you can say that. When we were fighting against the synth dealers, they provided us with plenty of support. It's a bit difficult to
Kicsit olyan,
imagine
mint egy
someone
maffia
using their
szervezet,
own money
de jó maffia
to hunt
szervezet.
down themselves.
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for
Thierry.
coordinating information
Ez volt a
between Spina
harmadik.
di Rosula and the guards. Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices,
Aha,
there
tehát
are
az
still many
őrök és
activities we have
az
to report
itteniek
to the local
kettő
authorities.
közti informátora volt.
Since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always plan one step ahead.
I see. These are all to think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next to me
Igen.
all along, among those I trust.
If you want to investigate them, please.
Na mind a 3-at meg
course.
kell
And thank you, Malus.
interjúvolni.
You've
You're too kind, my
Több
lady.
információt ki kell
I'm
húzni
just
belőlük.
doing my duty.
Vagy így, vagy úgy.
And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing him of blame in Jacques' death. After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care. They still live in Poisson today.
Ha még mindig lent
If it might
csak
help,
a
you could also
felesége
pay
meg
them
a
a visit.
gyereke.
Aw, thank you so much.
a new case awaits, my dear partner. I hope we can work together.
Oké, ki kell nyomozunk, hogy ki lehetett az, aki Zsákot megölhette. Cica. Jó, most oda kell menni. Oké, először Zsák feleségéhez kell menni.
It is settled then. Please excuse me and enjoy your conversation at your leisure.
Thank you for arranging
srácok?
everything for us.
Jó,
Malus.
megint nyomozunk. Megint nyomozunk.
Excuse me, miss.
Remélem most nem kell megint basszus
Do you
4
need
órát
anything from
végig
us?
tolni. Mert van még körülbelül 1 óránk a mai streamből még. Jaj, de morcos vagy, Adél.
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time. After what happened, I didn't know how I was supposed to face the two of you.
Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula sent us a lot of mora and support. I understood your guilt and
Pénzt
apology
és
to be
más
genuine.
küldött nekik. Ja, hát, kösz.
But
Azt
aren't all
kárpótolni
of
fogja,
those
hogy
things
nincsen meg a
nothing
férje.
compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father so
Hoppá.
near.
You don't understand at all.
Igen, ő elég mérges
I
Adél.
didn't know how to face you. Because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a consolation. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you. And to all of us.
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
Would you mind sharing it with me?
Na, valamire
I
rájöttek.
really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques.
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering.
Ó,
He
igen,
told
tehát
me
mocskos
countless
pénz
times
volt.
that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go
az is
into the
pénz, nem?
synth business again. He had many regrets
Pénz,
and
az
felt that he
pénz.
took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora was everything.
Ez így is
So when
van.
Mr. Callis came
Morából
to
sok
him
mindent
with the
lehet venni.
proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups.
They found out about his betrayal.
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he
Ne legyen
left that
hálátlan.
day,
Pontosan.
he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us. I don't know that for sure,
Nem
but
tudjuk.
you could say that's the conclusion I eventually came to.
Tényleg valaki
Which is
azt
why I'm
rendelte
the
el,
one
hogy
who should feel
Callas
guilty.
ölje meg Jacques.
Callis had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive
Mi van,
and
hogyha
after
valaki
he
ezt csak
passed away.
kihasznál?
Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for me to hate him
És
for
mi
what he
van,
had done.
álltok, mi van abban az esetben, ha Jacques mögötte állt a gonosztevő mögött, és az a Callas le akarta lőni, konkrétan le akarta lőni ezt a gonosztevőt, csak ő vízzé változott, és így véletlenül Jacques-ot lőtte le. Erre nem gondoltunk, mi?
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good
Informátor
man,
volt.
so why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You
Ilyen
still feel
szervezetben
like your papa was a good man.
nem biztos, hogy jó emberek vannak.
Yeah, Papa was a really good man. The best in the whole world.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, then he must have had his reasons.
Igen, hogyha
Regardless
valami
of
rosszat
whether he
csinált,
left you a parasol
aminek
or a sword,
valamiért kellett ezt.
he must have done so to give you a better life.
Oh,
Thank
Azért
you.
tette, hogy jobb élete
For
legyen.
everything
Igen,
you've
és mivel
told me.
gyerek így nehezebben fogja fel.
I will definitely find the truth. The current state of things is not something I'm willing to just sit back and accept.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though
Well-
your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really...
You really think so?
Olyan, mint a
That's
faterje egy kicsit.
the first time anyone...
Jó, köszönjük. Jó, hallgattuk ezt is, hallgattuk azt is, most... Oda kéne menni? Úgy a leggyorsabb. Az istókálja meg, várjuk. Ezeket gyorsan ki... lootoljuk.
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the three suspects next.
Oké,
Laurent
és
should
láttam
be
még volt
nearby,
valami.
and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city. I'll get myself together on the way. So,
És oda kell teljesen menni. Vártuk. Ugye a leggyorsabb erről... lehet menni? Aha. Csoda.
time to act.
Megkukizzuk mi van ott. Talk to Florent. Florenttel kell először... Oh! Felvettük. Florenttel kell először beszélni a 3 gyanúsított.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House. Someone got turned into water right in front of
Ha még
us.
szemelge is lenne, hasonlítva
Yeah,
egy
I've
kicsit.
heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several weeks.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside, and we found some clothes left at the scene.
Igen.
After my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to reopen his case.
Igen, megnyitjuk újra ezt az egész.
Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that
Na,
night?
mondd el, mi történt. A Pesten.
Let me think.
Húzzuk a gyanúsítottat
Mr.
listájáról.
Callis was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So he was drinking and bantering away with us at the table.
Ivott.
After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. so we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after? My first reaction was that Mr. Callus's life was in danger. So, I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the scene. But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callus was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look back and forth at each other, not knowing what to say.
Callus kiment, és utána kiroltak.
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. But I never really bought that explanation. Reason being, Mr. Callus had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene. But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a third person there who was turned into water?
Igen, a harmadik vízzé változott.
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a third person on the scene.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callus ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys? But hold on. If that's what had happened, then why didn't he share the truth with any of us? He didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his honor in a duel. Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
About that, Malus told me a thing or two. So, I think I can understand why he committed to the duel. I'll tell you everything, once the whole...
I understand. Then, I'll leave Mr. Callus's honor in your hands. And if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callus the Unfaithful epithet has been a thorn in my side since the day it was in... Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callus, even after so many years have passed. But it was Mr. Callus's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula and live the life I lead today. No matter what others might say, he'll always be the man I respect the most.
Don't worry. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well.
Érdekes. Oké. Oké, most hova kell mennünk? Aha, ide. Jó. És van egyébként... Ó, itt az őr. Az őr! Az informátor.
Thierry, it's me.
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss...
Oh, so you've caught news of that.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the guards, you know. The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances, shouldn't you have been called back to the city already?
Igen.
I mean, where I work is really up to me. Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of Poisson. Callus did a fantastic job running the town. It would be next to impossible for me to find... Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these 2 friends of yours? You, here for some formal business?
Yes. These 2 are my partners.
Igen.
What happened at the Opera House?
If you want to go through the original files from your father's case, I can help you look for them.
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question. Do you have the authority to dispatch Gardamex?
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own.
Igen. Ő tudja használni
We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for your father's...
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered Gardamex in the city. So, if you, hypothetically...
If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders or carry... If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me. Removing a serial
Okay.
number is also not as easy as you
Hát ő
might
nem
think.
tud egyik
There are
pillanatra
a lot of
másikra
complex
mehákat
steps
küldeni,
to it, and it's
és egy
almost
kicsit
impossible to
nehezebb
keep it a secret.
leszedni a
So I can
szériaszámokat.
promise you, those mecha were definitely private units.
Biztos
They're
private-ek.
certainly not cheap.
Nem biztos.
So, whoever their owner
Ez eddig
is
elég gyanús
must
nekem.
be super rich, powerful, or both.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, well, thank you for the vote of jokes aside. I'd like to wish you all the best with your... I'll be staying in the city for a little while.
Nekem gyanús ez a srác. Nem túl sok mindent mondott el. Hol van a következő? Nem alulról, hanem innen kéne menni.
Body and mind. Time
Hopp,
to act.
várjatok, először ezt kilútoljuk. És majd itt leugrunk. Azt hittem, hogy ott volt egy ilyen kis... ládika. Bocsi srácok, csak annyira belemerültem most ebbe a sztoriba, hogy kevesebben beszéltem a
How
követőt.
may I help you? I'm here to see Marcel.
Marcelért
Please let him
jöttünk.
know. Sure, I will let him know.
Marcelhez jöttünk, ajaj.
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Oh, it's
Ó,
all
de
right,
gyanús vagy te
Uncle
nekem.
Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House. I'm sure you saw it.
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Nem látott ilyet.
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
That's right.
Ő is
I
ott
went there
volt.
with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery?
Huh.
I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in
Nekem most
Fontaine
ő kezd
discussing your
felugrani az első
exploits over
számú
a few...
gyanúsítottra.
Paimon doesn't want to be...
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that...
Yes.
Igen.
I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating?
Exactly. I
És
still
tudja,
don't
hogy mi
have
is
much
nyomozunk
solid
most
proof, but
azután.
Oh, and what makes you...
we were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea. If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Igen, mert ránk nincsen hatással az
You're
a
giving us too
ölki.
much credit. Wasn't it you who protected us?
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you.
Hát
If
nem
you're
sok mindent
scared,
mondott.
you can always return there. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabrières will use its funds to the last mora to...
Thank you, Uncle Marcel.
Nem sok
Do you
mindent
have any
mondott.
new thoughts on my father's...
Na,
About
hátra van
that.
valami új nyom.
Sorry, my age is catching up with me. The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. Then I heard the sound of a...
Oh, it's okay.
Sounds good. Just all my wealth
És most hova kéne menni? Oda fel. Na jó, hogy gyorsan felmegyünk ott. Move at close with Navia. Jó, hát akkor nyomozzunk megint. Hopp! Csak előtte ezt megcsinálom. De mi a faszán mennek ezek? Jó. És akkor ott fel.
Time to act.
És itt is vagyunk. Na, nézzük a nyomokat.
We've talked to all three suspects, purely based on their conversations with...
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
Igen, nem mindegyik gyanús.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to find.
Jó.
But where should we start?
Hol kéne?
Ah,
Igen.
you're right.
Mi volt a motiváció a
Flora
Jacques-nak?
mentioned that Callus probably only ended up with the gun because of circumstance. That makes sense.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that day. If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he refused, he and his family's lives would have been forfeit.
Igen,
So, Jacques
mert
fired the first shot?
Jacques-nak kellett volna megöltenie kell ezt.
Oh? And why is that?
Na miért nem? Could we guaranteed his safety after killing Kell? Hát igen,
Oh, that's a good point.
pontosan. Attól, hogy
Jack
megöli,
probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder.
Jacques
And once
családját
he had
is.
completed his
Biztos,
mission,
hogy megtudtam.
he'd be of no more use to his boss.
Huh. So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the order and seek protection from my
És egy
father.
harmadik személy is volt.
Makes sense. But without evidence, besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the...
Given everything that's happened since, it's quite possible. But who among the three suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex?
Kinek lehetett? Marcelnek szerintem. Nem, Marcel nem.
Florent? It is true that he was closest to my father, but as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work most...
So you're saying he's too...
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able...
Marcel.
Uncle Marcel? And with funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford a large number of garden. It's still really hard for me to imagine. Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of Mora and energy to fight? Thierry, you say? Huh. But I didn't.
Nem biztos, hogy Thierry az.
Had he actually tampered with the mecha, we'd be able... If the mecha were taken from the...
Nem
Who
biztos.
could it be?
Három ember van. I think.
You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel
Igen,
is
Marcel
indeed the
szerintem
most
lesz.
suspicious of them.
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these three, did he?
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others'
Rosszat
trustworthiness
választottunk.
has been fair and well
Marcius
considered.
választottunk.
When the
Malus
suspect
lesz.
is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle.
Well, we
Meg
still
kell
have
nézni.
another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
Yes.
Igen.
Malus, we need far more solid proof.
Igen,
Narnia,
bizonyítékot
Here
kell.
you are.
Thierry.
I've been looking for you.
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards? Did...
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another trial on our hands.
Wasn't
Igen.
that place built specifically for holding trials?
Igen, egy
What's so
triában.
newsworthy about...
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
Child? De várja.
What? Is that someone you know?
Igen, ismerjük.
Yeah, we know him. Maybe even a little too well.
Well,
Ajaj.
he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. It's
Nem hiszem,
absurd,
hogy
don't
ő
you think?
az
Wait,
ember.
how? None of our investigations have had
És így
anything to
gyanús
do with
nekem
him.
ez a
That's
srác.
what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away.
Rákarja az egészet
If the
tukmálni?
charge
Milyen
against
gyorsan
him
már jött
stands, then it'll
utánunk.
be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our...
Right. Because...
Yeah. And it'll be...
I understand. Well,
Nézzük. Let's split up, oké.
split up? What do you mean?
Hát igen, erősebbek vagyunk.
Just since this is a trial about the serial, you're right. This is our best opportunity.
Oké.
I won't have any chance
Mennyi?
of
Van
making
még egy
that
fél
charge
óránk.
stick,
Hát nem
though,
tudom, hogy
unless we find
eddig
more
tudunk még
evidence.
játszani.
It'll
Oké, bíz rám.
Mademoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malou, Silver. When did...
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that you might
Nekem is
require
gyanúsak
our
most ők is.
assistance. It's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with the two of us by your side.
Thank you.
See you then!
Csak nem ezek a két embere.
Now that Navia
Ez az
is
egyik
set up for
embere.
Aranias, we should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over.
Várjatok csak! Ezt nézzük már meg.
Rain outlines your...
Gyorsan megcsináljuk. Jó?
Body and mind.
És nézzétek, van még itt is. Vártunk. Vizet raktunk bele, és nem történik semmi. Na mindegy. Vártuk. Azt oda kell vezetni. Ó, értem már.
Time to act. Body and mind.
Jó? Ó, azt nézzétek!
Treasure hunting.
Igen,
A
és itt is van
valiant
még
endeavor.
valami, igaz? Na mi a franc történik itt? Ez nem jött össze. Hogyan tudnánk ráugrani kurva gyorsan?
No, my sword.
Ó, nem jön össze. Jó, akkor hagyjuk a francba. Rácok, ezt hagyjuk. Megyünk inkább, questezzünk. Az ilyen hülyeségeket majd megcsinálom én magamba.
Body and mind. Time to act.
De még ott is kéne. Nem. Csináljuk inkább. Ide akartunk jönni.
Body and mind.
According to Malusa's info,
Ó, le kell mennünk a víz alá. Na srácok, mivel legutóbb nem tudtunk elmenni a víz alá, megmutatom milyen, mert én meg kellett, hogy kukkaszom. Ilyen. Yay! Nagyon állat. Jó, ezt megöljük gyorsan. Ja igen, és van ilyen kis ostorunk, ilyen. Na, kapunk érte valamit? Ó, fassa. Hoppá. Lejjebb. Megvan, és behetünk. Igaz? Aha. És erre. Ó, nézzétek csak, mik vannak itt. Mi ez? Felfelé. Ez micsoda? Tehát amenós karakterrel. Tovább kell mennünk. Ó, és oda kéne menni! De várjátok, srácok, akkor én ezt lehet itt most beizélem.
So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production. You're right. An important place like this, Navia's probably arguing up.
Jó, nézzük meg a térképen, hol vagyunk. Nem, valami még történik az operában.
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia.
Oké, ők
Do
beszélnek.
you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of.
Igen.
However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name. Is that right?
No.
In which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorette,
Ó, igen, mert ő az elején mondta, hogy ő még
I've
harcolni
got to
akar.
admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back. Real disappointing.
Hey, don't you
Le akarja győzni
understand?
a lila csajt.
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
Igen, gyenge szar.
No. That's
Nem fogja.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going poorly. And we have made very little progress. In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this trial is to determine the culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
That case had nothing to do with him. You
Igen.
got the wrong. Huh?
Igen,
What's
rossz
going
ember.
on?
Rossz ember.
Why is she interjecting again?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings, but that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge you with contempt of court for your interjection.
Ó, ezt is meg akarják
Oh,
baszni.
please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics? We can put the discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by default.
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules. So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted.
Oké.
Now
Hát még
then,
mindig
Miss Navia,
gyanúsított.
who is the person?
That person is...
Ó, baszki. Na most kell. Hát igen.
Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Huh? What
I've heard of them, but...
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredible... And if the charge fails to...
Yes.
In that case, I declare members of the guard...
Oké. Hát őt meggyanúsította. Azt hisz, rá tud aztán...
Mr.
Ó,
Marcel,
itt van, igen.
you will not...
Apologies. It all... I think an attorney...
Very well.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago. Only through elucidating what really happened.
Navia, do you really think that I was the one who killed your father?
Igen, te az. Te vagy az.
Why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and if that's enough to make me a suspect...
I think there's no
Kussoljál!
point in
Nem
getting
téged
into
kérdeztünk.
the specifics. Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage.
Na, jöjjön akkor.
On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières.
Pillanat, srácok. Ja, folytatjuk, megnézzük, hogy kopogtak-e. Meg iszok addig egy kis vizet. Innen folytatjuk. Bocsánat. Már is vagyok, csak muszáj volt inni egy kicsit. Nem hoztam be a vizet, mert így jó hideg marad a hűtőbe. Na!
During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard.
Igen, mindenki hívott a kocsmába, és 2 lövés hallottak a... mibe? Intről.
When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect,
Igen.
Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance Jacques lay
Igen.
dead from a gunshot.
Jacques halott volt, és
The
Callus
guards'
fogta a
investigation did
pisztolyt.
not recover any other firearms from the scene.
Más pisztolyt
As
nem
a
találtak.
result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken Jacques' life. The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, he
Megvédte magát.
chose to prove his innocence through a duel.
És ezért választotta a duelt
Callus
inkább.
was defeated by
Megöljék.
champion duel. These
De ez
are
nem
the
jó.
known
Ez nem
facts
jó.
about the case.
De ez nem jó.
In true, after that, the true culprit. However, we
Meg
should.
lesz mindjárt. Az tény is való, hogy a fater ivott itt. Kiment és hallották is. Az, hogy most... Igen,
This assassin.
igen,
Pilot, but now, since it was.
és itt. Nem?
The testimony, however, unfortunately.
És megvan. Akkor ez a 3 volt.
Realizing this, the true culprit caused
Na,
the
most
hired
nézzük.
assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder.
Igen.
This is the true version of events.
Elmondjuk, hogy... Így volt az igaz. Felénk ment. Successfully. Yes.
Ah, so that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordials?
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective motives.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide a rebuttal if you wish to prove your...
But I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech that directly implicated me.
Then, may I ask
Igen,
some
mert amit
questions?
elmondtuk,
In my
a
opinion,
fatert
we
felmenthetnék
primarily
így,
need to
de
determine two
Marcus
things.
még nem tudjuk
One,
befolyásolni, hogy
do
tényleg ő
you
volt.
have the evidence to...
Van bizonyíték?
I'm afraid... I may not have the evidence with me. We should be able to find him. Considering the serial that makes sense to me. Why do I feel like Farina's acting a little differently today?
Másképp.
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing herself.
Alternatively,
Másképp
My second question has to do
csinálja
with the
Furina.
Then
Dolgokat, ahogy
why
általában.
didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he had testified that a person had been I've thought about this too. And the answer is actually pretty simple. He felt there were things that were more important to him. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of the serial disappearance. My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave.
Igen, vitte inkább
At that
magával.
time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on my back.
Boss once told me.
What? If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there
Most
and
elmondjuk a
then.
teljes
I
igazságot.
wouldn't have been the only one in danger. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter, but what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect and had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice, Spina di Rosula would have had no reason to exist. But by staying silent, I was able to become. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, So, you mean to say, your father intended to die in the duelist's ring?
Pontosan, inkább meg akart
That's
hallani.
right. Do you have any proof? Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent.
Igen, Klorid.
I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do anything, but since he entrusted his will to you, Cloran... so... During the...
Igen, elmondta.
Yes, I
Ezt
did.
As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken a countless in my line of work. I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live or if they're looking to die. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never intended to leave the ring alive.
Most bemondta, hogy inkább meg akartam.
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case and the serial disappearances
Pontosan nem mondta el.
Right? What she said was fascinating.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected via a matter of time. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill, and at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were coincidentally. Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reasoning, I still can't help but find it a little preposterous. I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia. It's one of your most
No need to appeal to
I won't try to refute your points one by one. But on top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the timing? Can't someone remotely monitor?
What she can say to that?
I know that even with that, alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt? But if I were to just, do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna tell me any.
It's timing again.
Timing.
I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk action with nothing to gain. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only thrived when I received Callus's patronage. But the disappearances began before I ever stepped foot in Fontaine.
Tehát már előttem, mielőtt ide jött, akkor történt.
My mistake.
No.
Is there any... You can also take a look at my border entry records. Or ask my friend... Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable anguish in your heart?
Seems like she got the wrong guy.
At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb job, but aren't you going against all of his wishes and expectations? He wished for you to become more rational, collected, and conscientious, instead of dwelling only on your own. Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into things.
This isn't just about me. And the biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability to search for the truth. While that same age, the people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, many people's images are flashing before my eyes. And whose image do you see? Is it a man named Vacher?
Vacher?
Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Na, mesélj a Vacherról. És most valószínűleg visszamegyünk, nem? És itt vagyunk. Bent vagyunk ezen a helyen? Feljebb. Nincs más. Tök jó. Na, ússzunk ki, és nézzük meg, hogy mi van. Mert most nyomozunk. Hogy lehet még más embereket is itt kiválasztani. Nem.
Mind the side effects. Seems like an emergency.
At the frying pan, into the fire! You'll reveal thyself!
Rain outlines your fate.
Nice and
Ott van! El fogok dobzani. Jó, és itt van. Ész!
By royal decree!
Ott van! A víz meg a minden!
Mind the side.
At the frying pan, into the fire!
És kész. Gyorsan felkapjuk, megnézzük. Ez nem tudom, mi történik. Ó, hogy... Aha! Feljebb lehet menni.
Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place.
Wow! Hát, még feljebb is... Ez nagyon tuti. Ezek a mehás dolgok nekem nagyon bejönnek. Hopp, ládika! Valamit felvettünk. És irányba. Mennyire tartunk? 74. Áááá!
Paimon thinks we need to go up.
Oda fel kéne jutnunk,
Paimon
oké.
doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around.
Víz van
Maybe we'll
alul.
find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up.
Jó. Ide le kell jönnünk. Oké, megvan ez is. És mehetünk tovább. Az? Ha? Nincs semmi lent. Pedig azt hittem. Gyorsan felmegyünk, megnézzük, hogy itt mit hagyhattunk. Ó, nézzétek csak! Kinyitjuk. És valami történik. Most lejjebb, szerintem feljebb megy a víz. Aha, a vízszint feljebb megy, nézzétek! Yes! Feljebb megy a vízszint. Tök jó, hogy nem fulladunk meg itt végre a víz.
The water level is rising. Now we can swim to the top.
Aha, és most már teljesen fel tudom
This
menni.
is still a ways away from where we need to go.
Ja, és nem oda kell, teljesen nem tudom még felmenni. Tudom, most ide jövünk. Ó, megint kutyák, de jó.
Rain. Mine's your fate.
Gyorsan ezt le kell izélni, mert ez szerintem egy olyan mechanizmus, ami... Aha.
Midnight.
Nem tesz jót nekünk.
No rest for the...
Boba, get them.
No, my...
Ajajaj.
Oz, reveal thyself.
Ott van.
Mind the side effects.
Ott van, kapja! Kapja!
A bitter peltus.
Nice and spicy.
Ó, és még
outlines
több!
your fate.
Nem.
Witness the power.
Wings of darkness.
Remember.
Na jó, most elhasználjuk az összes.
Boba, get them. By royal decree, Fedezzük.
És megvan. Ez királyság. Ez királyság volt. Most megint feljebb emeljük a vízszintet. És szerintem pont jó, mert akkor most térünk fel teljesen a tetejére.
Now the path is clear. Let's go.
Teljesen feljött minden? Aha. Jó. Ó. Tudunk menni. Csak most le kéne esnünk az egészen. Vagy... lefelé. Ó, akvárium! A tenger alatti akvárium volt még itt. Hopp, ládika. Muszáj szétnézelődni, mert sose lehet tudni, mit hagyom még itt. Ó, és két mehák is vannak ott. Ó, az nem jó. Vártok? Használjunk olyat. Egyet. Kettőt. Tudom még valamit használni? Ezek jók lesznek.
Know my soul. Oz, reveal.
A bitter peltus.
Nice and spicy.
Ring cutter.
Ott van!
I summon. You're toast.
Segít rajta? Nem tudom.
Boba, get them.
As you wish me.
Ó, haha, igen. Ez segít.
Time to by royal decree.
Mine.
Let me weave you a verse. Rain outlines your fate.
A bitter pill to swallow.
Ott van, ott van. Jó lesz.
Mine the
Víz, tűz kombóval minden meg lesz. Ha itt leesünk, mi történik? Onnan kellett. Aha, nem. Nem esettünk le. Jó van, jó van, jó van. Igen, azt hittem, hogy itt lesz még valahol egy kis ládika. Akkor tovább kell mennünk. Micsoda? Mennyire tartunk? 84. Hát... De 130-nál... Hát abba hagyom.
Body and mind.
Ó, hova jöttünk le? Megint valamilyen titkos. Mekkora kerék?
Though, as expected, the mastermind isn't here. That's right. Then let's hurry up and find some evidence.
Bizonyítékot kell találnunk.
What's all this? Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box. Oh, Paimon sees it too, but why are all these cute Huh? You mean the girls from the serial disappearances? They were brought here, and then they were turned into water, and all the boxes of things. These names. That means...
Igen. Minden eltűnnek, itt vannak a cuccai. Igen. Minden eltűnt embernek, itt vannak a cuccai. Gyorsabban. Hoppá. De...
Whoa! There's so much synth here!
Itt vannak a szintek.
And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the water.
Nagyon sokan.
Mixing in progress. Ready to drink? Stock sample? Huh. They've also got all the synth pretty clearly labeled.
Ja, fel van minden címkézve.
There's even fruit flavored synth?
Ha! Gyümölcsízű szint is van.
Super obvious.
Jó. Na mi van itt?
What's this over here? Looks like some kind of place for
Ez a bázis
research.
egyébként, ahol kellett jönnünk.
Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions on the primordial sea and use his theory as a foundation to achieve a breakthrough. The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Female specimens Sorry, traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's just... How can someone write something that terrible in such a matter of... You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going.
Igen, már nem tudja elolvasni.
So that's why he did all of these experiments. But did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane!
Vasár.
Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain?
Köszönöm.
Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case.
Nem. Nem kapcsolatban állt, szerintem ő csinálhatta.
You mean Vache is the one who did all of these...
Igen.
Experiments? So
Pontosan.
that's it.
Vache csinálta az egészet.
Vache was no victim, but personally took his lover and...
Lehet véletlenül tette.
No, that's not it either. If that's the case, why would he want people... In
Igen,
any case,
bármi van, még ki kell derítenünk, mert nem csak ennyiből. Mert Vache oké, hogy lehet a partnerét, a szerelmét átváltoztatta, de nem biztos, hogy direkt.
written here? Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be an investigation report. Yep, it's about finding someone to assassinate Jacques and Callus because of a lack of confidence that Jacques himself would go through with it. This
van
should
nyom.
prove the existence of the third person, right?
Van nyom, hogy harmadik ember is volt. Valami. Tehát most már biztos nyom van, hogy ott egy harmadik ember.
The exact content of the key information
Mikor ez
Callus has
történt.
passed on to certain members of his organization. The old dog's a real menace to deal with. Even if he abides by the promise he's made to us, he will still have the upper hand. He can act whenever he wants to make our lives miserable. The only option left is to remove him from the picture. I concur. Let's send someone to kill him. He won't declare war as long as we don't. Oh,
Igen, most írja el,
we've got a
hogyha
bunch of correspondence between the
pontosan,
higher-ups.
ha nem ölik meg, megölik a csávót, a Naviát nem kell. Igen. Ez Kalasznak a levele volt. Fuck. Itt is van még. Jó. Hátul nincs semmi más. Ott voltunk. Ott voltunk. Voltunk. Hát akkor már csak ide kell jönni. Jó. Ja. És ide kell jönni.
There's an important looking basin over here, and it's full of water. That means this is where they make all the synth.
Itt
And
készítik a
that special
szinteket.
water is the main ingredient. If you dilute it with normal water, you'll get synth, but the pure stuff can dissolve a human. Paimon will
Igen,
take
a
notes on this
tiszta
incriminating evidence.
az embereket is felold. És innen csinálták a drogot. Na. Az legalább
We've
megvan.
looked at almost everything here, and it seems like our theories were spot on.
És ki lehet ez a vaser?
We haven't found anything that reveals his. No wonder even Nervalette wasn't able to find anything. Whoever it is probably destroyed everything that way. Even if we bring all
Igen,
this
valahol
back to the
kitörölték
opera,
valahogy.
we won't be able to identify the true culprit. Sure thing.
Oké.
Paimon won't.
Még azért nézelődnünk kellene. Valami biztos, hogy van itt. Hogy van még itt van. Kell, hogy legyen valaminek itt mi. Ó, baszki! Nézzétek! Lehet oda fel kéne mennünk. Nem lehet itt felmenni? Nem, kell még egy nyomot találnunk. Hol lehet még egy nyom? Valahol biztos van még egy. A ládikába! Oké. Tehát akkor még egy, after some time, tudja, hogy van még egy.
Nothing at all. And Paimon can't even find snacks either.
Nincs itt semmilyen nyom. Francba.
Whoa, really?
Valamit találtunk?
Paimon see.
Egy.
Vinier.
Ó.
Isn't that Vache's lover's name?
Igen, Vinyérnek hívták Vasér szerelmét.
Then you found her diary. Aw. It's just a normal diary chronicling their love story.
Take a look at this page. Igen.
So many. A whole page's worth. But they're all crossed out.
Egy
Is she
név van
unhappy
még.
with all of them? The final name she decided, Marcel.
Marcel.
Wait, but Marcel's pretty old. Has this case been going on for so long?
Ó, valamire rájöttünk.
Hey! Paimon still hasn't figured it out yet.
Csak nem a gyereke, Marcel. Vagy Vasér, az Marcel? Igen, mert találtunk nyomot. Ez már jó
And
jel.
whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vache?
Huh.
Oh, so you do know that name.
Igen.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of some.
I was waiting for you.
Navia! We're back!
As expected of my...
Just how often do you intend...
It's all right, Monsieur Nervalette. Given their confidence,
Na, mondjuk el, mi történt. Elmondjuk, mi történt? Master?
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vache.
Ő volt. Marcel volt mindig is. Vache.
We've investigated your lair and we already know everything. After your lover, Venier, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the hopes of bringing her back to you.
Azért rabolta a nőket, hogy visszahozza a szerelmét.
And destroyed all records of your past as Vache.
so that's it. Even the villains in opera performances rarely go that far. And with that, Marcel's motive has now been established. This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior timing defense. Well, Marcel, do you know where you went wrong? You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention to the living people around you. So, you never noticed how we changed, or how we grew as individuals.
You also never understood Boss's real expectations for his daughter.
Or our determination to see things...
Your determination?
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself. Otherwise, the trial will move on to the next stage.
Do you really think I wanted to do any of this? Pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized with my pain? Ever known how it feels to watch the love of your life dissolve right in front of your eyes? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, even the officers from the Maison Gardiennage were laughing at me. They said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Vinier's death was brushed away by all of you as if it didn't matter at all. Well,
azért csináltam, mert nem akartak neki segíteni. És inkább megöli az embereket.
All those who were dissolved are gone forever.
Igen.
You only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice, your beloved drama, while turning a blind eye to the suffering of the people. Venier is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she goes, I will, but I'm not from this blasted place. So I can't be dissolved.
Saját magát is megöli. Bassza meg.
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
Igen.
I can't dissolve. Can't dissolve. Can't dissolve. Do you all see?
Igen, mert ő nem minden való.
I can't follow. So if I can't go where she is, what choice do I have but to try to bring her back? I did all
ő nem tud meghalni, nem tud elpolladni, mint az itteniek.
Still got the better of me. I spent my entire life.
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guards, please
don't touch me. Don't, please, Venier.
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charge is
fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that, I'm actually...
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review and sign.
Okay. Nevillenek megmutatjuk Neville-nek.
The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vache and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Venier.
Igen.
During an underwater expedition, Venier accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vache as a result. Vache learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering a method to restore Venier back to life. To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel and began to operate a business in Poisson. During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria, and began to manufacture and market synth. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, he came into conflict with Spina di Rasula. After exchanging blows with Spina di Rasula for many years, Vacher decided to assassinate their president Callus at a banquet. Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect by dissolving the assassin he sent to the scene. And just recently, Vacher attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case also exposed enough of Vacher's machinations that he was eventually successfully charged in court. Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances case, with the truth revealed to all.
És megvan oldva.
The oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against...
Igen, és mi lesz a büntetése? Valószínűleg bűnös. Ez ilyen...
According to the judgment of the oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinale, Mr. Vacher is guilty.
Igen.
Guards! Take the... Good. It's what he deserves.
With that...
We really just witnessed...
Yippee! We have now... He's heard
Okay,
so many
megvan a
innocent,
nyomozás.
Are you okay?
Demoiselle, you were absolutely...
The day our late boss had all...
Yeah. Yeah.
Igen.
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama?
Igen, de
the villain has
Charles
been
miért van
caught,
itt?
justice has been served, passed wrong. Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some...
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
Maradjon csak.
What now? None of this has anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge before the trial can...
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for side characters?
Please respect the laws of Fontaine. This has always been the...
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle.
Okay.
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that Mr. Tartaglia has no direct The guilty party has been identified. We now turn to the oratrice mécanique d'analyse.
Igen, és akkor a gépet is megnézik.
According to the judgment of the oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinale, guilty.
What?
Hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent?
Igen, valamiért
What's with this
bűnös lett.
verdict? Is your justice machine malfunction?
Huh? This has never happened before. The oratrice...
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think...
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict.
The judgment of the oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinale is, by law, the final verdict of the court.
Lehet
We must
megbukkolták a gép.
accept the guilt. Guards, please take the suspect into custody per court protocol.
Érdekes. Ajaj.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke.
Ajaj.
You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
Oké. Egyébként kemény. Remélhetőleg őt is meg tudjuk kapni majd a második részen. És megnyernék az 55-et, én annak örülnék. Mindenre csinál. Ajaj. És átváltozik. Aha, átváltozik. Oh, de jó. Közbelépett. Nem szokott közbelépni, de most muszáj volt. Ez még a hideg is kirázott.
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules
Sajnálja.
of the court
Igen.
must be upheld.
Tiszteletben kell tartani. És megsebződött egy kicsit az arca. Ez durva! Ez a legjobb rész! Nagyon állat volt! Nevi lett kurvára kemény! Rámet is paf! Kapott egy csicskalángos.
This is also the first time I've encountered such
Ez
a
állat volt.
situation. However, according to the rules established at the conception of Fontaine's court system, the oratrice's judgment
Igen, akkor
is the
lehetséges
final
majd
verdict of the
hétfőn innen fogjuk
court. All I
folytatni.
do is follow court
A
procedure.
harmadik rész.
As for why the oratrice arrived at the
Küldetés. Gondolom az
conclusion it
Act 3
did,
onnan folytatni.
you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable
Nyomozni kell a
than me.
harmadik részt.
Why are you looking at me? I had nothing to do with it!
Jajjaj, dehogy nem.
I don't know what happened there either. Hey, stop staring at me!
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
Igen, igen, a 4.1-ben ő lesz, meg még lesz egy másik karakter, de szerintem baszó lesz. Nem baszó
She
lesz.
says she has no idea either, but that's impossible. Didn't she create the Oratrice herself?
Igen.
Yeah, so whether verdict's reliable or
meg ha
not,
minden
can results
igaz,
like this really be called
az
justice?
Arkonnak a sidekickjét, ezt a lila puskétás lányt lehet megszerezni, meg szerintem kicsodát, a
Did you really think we'd allow
Nevilettet.
an incorrect verdict to be handed out in
A
this
két lányt.
court? Did you really believe that the judgment could be mistaken or be the result of some sort of random mishap?
Biztos kemény
Don't
lesz.
tell me. You thought even I had been blindsided by the
Furina.
oratrice's result.
Nagyon idegesít.
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty obvious she had no...
However,
Hazudik.
given the state of things, I shall give you an explanation. And, of course, if you thought child had nothing to do with this, everything
Hazudik,
you
meg azt se
said
tudja, mi
all
történik
shall
itt.
be revealed. Now, having said that, although I...
So she chose to make her escape after all, did she?
Igen.
So you're saying we shouldn't put much stock into what...
She probably just put on that performance to save. However, please
Pontosan,
be
de ő is
assured that I
látja,
will continue to investigate this
Dovi
case in
lett,
a personal capacity.
hogy csak hülyeséget
Just
beszél.
as I promised, if the judgment has been incorrect, we will do our utmost to clear his name.
All right. Even though we feel pretty badly for him, we'll take your word for it for now.
Okay.
After all, he's done plenty of bad stuff, so he should have known he'd go to...
Igen, eddig is rossz dolgokat tett. És most ki tudunk menni végre? Hívtál Opera House, jó? Kimegyünk innen.
Body and mind.
Ki kell jutnunk innen, és szerintem akkor fogjuk abbahagyni a streamünket mai napon. 2 órát terveztem, kezdünk most egy kicsit
Quick, stop him!
túl menni rajta, de nem baj, most már ezt a chaptert, ezt meg kéne.
Hey, traveler!
És mit keres kint? Ezt nem tartóztatták le?
What are you doing over...
Stop resisting arrest! Cease!
No, wait! I just want to ask the traveler something.
Valamit meg
I'm
akar
not looking
kérdezni.
to run away. Please, just let me ask this one small
Valamit
thing.
hagyj kérdezzen tőlünk. De mit? Mit akarhat?
Thank you.
Jó, ne
I was
köszönges,
being led
mondjad
away
már.
when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vacher? I
Ja, hol
erased all
hallottad
records
Vachert?
of that name. So, unless...
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted.
Igen, találkoztam vele.
You did? You're sure? You met her? But how could that be? How did you manage to do it? The Fountain of
Elmondjuk.
Lucine?
Igen, ott találtuk.
Then she's been so close to me all along. And I just never...
Ja, elmondjuk neki, hogy találtuk.
Please give me a chance to talk to her again.
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile?
This request, is it worth as much to you as your life?
Of course! Wait, no.
Szarik az
It's worth
életére.
even more.
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just to satisfy spiritual needs? Very well. I will grant your request.
Your Honor.
I will go with him. You do not need to worry about any escape.
Oké, nem fog elmenekülni, mert mellettem el.
In that case, I shall leave.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oké, megnézi, hogy mi történt ott. Gondolom most akkor el kell mennünk a szökőkúthoz. És most fog találkozni a régi szerelmével. Szerintem az lesz a lezárás ennek a chapter.
Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Hát ez jó kérdés.
Yeah, and even Paimon could hear her after drinking that thing. Didn't you just drink a lot of it on the stage as well? Oh, in that case...
Ott a lötyiből.
Vaché!
Igen, mert ő is hívott a lötyiből, és most. És hallja már ő is.
Yes, that's it!
Vignere, it's me!
Vaché?
I'm here! I'm here! Where are you?
Hey, wait! Be careful!
Ő is hallja.
Vignere, is that you? It's me, Vaché! Vignere!
Vignere!
Vaché? Why did you come? Didn't I say? You don't need to look for me. You look a lot older than I remember. How long has it been?
It's been more than 20 years. I've
suffered
for over 20 years since the day. All this time, only the thought of bringing you back has kept me alive. I must be dreaming. Who would have thought I'd get the chance to tell you all of my Vignere, you are my everything. I really don't know how...
But Vaché, if you ask me, this world would be better off without you.
What are you
Ez a világ jobb lenne nélküled.
If not for you, I would have finished my law degree and probably become a top-tier attorney one day.
Igen, lett belőle valaki,
If
de
not
megölte.
for you, I would have continued to pursue my love of the... If not for you, I would at least have been able to take care of my mother.
Igen, és az anyját is el tudta
And
volna.
she would not have grown old and died alone, with nothing but the tears on her cheeks. It's all because of your selfishness, Vaché. It's all
Igen.
because of you.
Pontosan minden miatt.
Wait, you are not Vignere. Who are you?
Ez nem Vignere?
You're right. I am not Vignere. I am the sacrifices. Every woman who died by your hand, as our bodies dissolved, our consciousness
Minden nő
flowed back to
tudata
the primordial sea.
belement ebbe a Primordial Sea-be.
Our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea, and we were no longer individuals, but we became one.
Ó, tehát az összes tudat
Just the
egyé olvadt.
streams of water come together in the sea.
És ez lett belőle.
I'm Cressy.
Cressy.
I'm Lemony. I'm AZ.
Ő mindenki.
The only one I am not is Vignere.
És ő nem Vignere.
Why? But then, where is
hol van
Vignere?
Vignere?
She doesn't want to see you anymore.
Már nem akar látni téged.
Every tendril of her This is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our futures. You said time and time again that you'd do any and everything for her. But did you ever consider whether she'd want to see you do the things that you did? If she would despise you for what you
Egyre
became?
érdekesebb az ambiance.
I...
You are a liar, a heartless. The only thing you are not. From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vignere's,
Igen.
she has had nothing but pure.
Igen, mikor az első áldozata meghalt és összeolvadt Vignével, igen, akkor veszette el az egészet. Ó, tehát őt is átbaszta.
No. Yeah.
You still don't understand. When I said don't look for me, that came from the real Vignere. She really doesn't want to see you anymore.
Nem akarja, hogy...
But on top of that, she also said that because it's her final drop of pity. She said that because she knew that if you did come here, We will show no mercy. Vache.
Vache?
Igen.
Vache.
Jó sok nőt ölt meg. Akkor boss fight? Lehetséges, hogy boss fight lesz ebből. Szemüledészlétől. Nem. Szerintem vasert elpicsázták, és ennyi volt.
Finally, we have some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been able to relax.
Fájnak a lábaim.
Well met, partner. I knew something great.
Even this weather can't put a damper on the demonstration.
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
Oh, hey, Navia! It's been a few days.
Úgyhogy Naviát lehet a Népod 2-ben meg fogjuk kapni.
Oh, now that I believe. I'm easy to work with and always bring home the bacon. Who wouldn't
Igen,
treasure
most
having
látom,
a
itt a
partner
vállán
like
van,
me?
valahol itt volt.
Really
Ő
enjoy life
geós.
these days, Navia.
Az jó.
What have you been busy with since the trial?
It's
Noellel,
just been one thing after the
Naviával,
other.
meg
I've been
Zsonglivel,
making
három,
non-stop trips
még egy
between
negyedik
Poisson and the
kellene.
courts and Sen.
Baszó lenne.
Everyone from Spina di Rose this time, though.
So is Nick...
It's been the dearest.
Oh, but well.
Huh? So you know Charlotte too? The Charlotte? Journalist from the Steambird?
Charlotte-ot ismeri,
Yeah,
igen.
way back when I first became I believe the story was called The True Heart of Darkness. To be fair, though, she was trying to lean on our friendship to get me to do an
Oh yeah, she told us about that. She's always been...
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when
Akkor
she
neki
writes
adott
about you
interjút.
guys entering the
Now that's another thing.
Oh, and in other news, I also took Clarand out for a meal.
Klorindával is.
On better terms now?
While you were investigating Vache's headquarters, Clarand gave tests. It was thanks to her that we were able to...
Oh, that's great.
Anyway, actually...
What is it?
I should pay a visit to my father's grave.
El
And
kell
tell him
menni a
the truth of
sírjához.
what happened.
Elmondja,
As
mit.
well as how it all ended. And on top of that,
És megnyugtatja a
just
sátrát.
how much people still look up...
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
We want to go too. We also think...
Sure thing.
Mi is
I'd like
elkísérjük,
you
jó
two to
van.
share the moment with...
And in that case, everyone.
Yeah, you're right.
Jó, akkor elmegyünk a sírhoz vele. Ezt nem tudom, mutatni fogják-e. Aha.
This is where my father's grave...
Huh? There's someone there already. Isn't that Nervalette?
De, az nem vele.
Why would the Chief Justice be here?
Szerintem tiszteletét teszi, és lehet most jön a bűn.
My apologies. I should have asked before coming to pay my respects.
Don't say that.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I wanted to show my father how much I've grown. But still, I doubt
In that case, I will stop apologizing for now.
In any case, why did you come?
Well, ever since that day, I've been turning a question over and over in my head. Just what is justice
Mi az
anyway?
igazság?
There was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there could be anything more important to humans than life itself. No, rather than that, it's probably... Which is also why I didn't... I believed that But Mr. Callis proved me, if not for his Mr. Callis made the choice, and in the end, a justice that's hot. So, you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say my apologies to Mr. Callis in person. This regret has filled me with a sadness that has haunted me for days. That high and mighty chair in the opera Epicles indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your hard work.
So you're actually...
Sorry about that. Self-expression is not one of my...
Didn't I just say you don't need to
So Navia and Nervalette seem to have made their peaces one. Let's not disturb them for now.
Hagyjuk
We can...
őket. Pontosan, hagyjuk őket. Végén csak happy end lesz itt minden.
Paimon's never paid respect. Huh? Oh, Paimon didn't know that was a thing. But Paimon doesn't know what she would do if she can't find. Oh
Ja, akkor növelettel kell kicsit megkérnünk. Ha, bele nem.
Time to act.
Na beszéljünk.
Oh, it's you two. Did Miss Navia invite you to come pay your respects?
We ran into Navi on...
I see.
Well,
Hát most meg tudjuk kérni őt, hogy beszéljünk az Arkonnal.
Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine, and it would be my...
Igen! A család le van szarva. A tesunkról. Aha.
Another blonde-haired traveler. I'm sorry, but I've never seen anyone who matches that. If he ever stepped foot in Fontaine, I'm sure he followed our laws to the letter, and had no reason to appear on the stage of the opera. Is there anything else you'd like?
Basszus kulcs. Oké. Azt már megkérdezte. Jó, családról
My
kérdezzük meg.
apologies. My investigation has however, I still believe the judgment of the Oratrice was not rendered arbitrarily.
Igen, ő is tudja, hogy nem volt tökéletes az igazságszolgáltatás.
For many years, I have been quite aware that the Oratrice does not simply mechanically repeat the verdict that I give on each case. As a divinely created mechanism, the people's unified faith in the concept not only can it produce the incredible power of indemnitium, but it likely also possesses other traits. Which is all to say, I have been prepared for a situation.
So when Lenny told...
I was not aware such a thing had occurred. Perhaps that could serve to prove my conjecture. I will add that to the list of items to investigate. In any case, I am inclined, based on Farina's reaction, I doubt even... While we do intend to get to the bottom of this, if we did incorrectly...
If you ask Paimon, the only compensation...
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
Még valamit megkérdezzünk.
That the sea levels will rise and everyone will be dissolved in water, leaving Farina crying alone on her throne, but the sins of the people will be finally washed. Does that appropriately summarize the version you've...
That's right!
Igen, ezt hallottuk.
It was Lenny that told us back then.
Yes, up to the present, I think we reached a point where we have no choice but to confront this prophecy directly. Rumors have it that this prophecy is rooted in the last...
A prophecy? Of the former Hydroarchon?
Igen, az előző Hydroarchon.
Wow.
Hallott.
This is the first time that...
Two parts of the prophecy have already proven correct. The rising sea levels and the ability of the people of Fontaine to be dissolved.
Igen.
We should be more vigilant and stay on the watch for further signs. Speaking of the prophecy, Farina has also always taken it quite seriously. Indeed, she has been collecting information and intelligence. If the rumors were true, then perhaps this prophecy is the conundrum left to Farina by her predecessor.
But with Farina being the way she is, can we really trust her to solve it?
Is there anything else you'd...
Igen, még valamit megkérdezünk az utolsó szart.
So, at court, the bad guys referred to that special water as water from the primordial sea, but...
Truthfully, that name is already quite accurate. I can only surmise that Vacher and his ilk only learned of its nature and existence after extensive research. There used to be a special sea on the surface of this planet. The nature of its seawater, most of Tevat's life forms were first born.
So it
But today, the primordial sea no longer exists on the planet's surface. What Vacher discovered must have been some kind of special case, or a remnant from a truly ancient age.
Ja, lehet valami régi letűnt korból.
That's how it is. Oh, you really know everything, Monsieur Neuf.
Indeed. Why would the primordial sea, which was known to engender and nurture life, suddenly reverse itself and devour life instead? To be frank, that also doesn't match my understanding of this world and its law. Is there anything else?
Mindent megkérdeztünk,
Very well. It will soon be time for me to leave this...
You really are super busy.
Crime and villainy do not have the day off, and so justice must...
All right. Huh? Paimon just noticed that the rain has stopped.
Igen, állt az eső. Megvan az act 2! Yes! Rácok, ennyi volt ez a része. Adott egy ládika, azt már nyissuk. Bárkit nincs semmi más, amit még meg lehetett volna csinálni. Ott nem látok semmi olyat. Tudjátok mit? Akkor ezt a ládikát nyissuk ki.
Body and mind. No, my sword.
A bitter pill to swallow.
A Hyper Bloom-mal nagyon jó. Az a Hyper
The life
Bloomban
of
nagyon
an
jó.
adventurer
Hoppá.
certainly isn't easy.
Jó, és akkor annyit csináljunk, hogy ezt vegyük ki. És akkor hivatalosan ennyi volt a fő quest. Srácok, az lehetetlen. Hogy ennyi is, de ennyi volt. Ó, akkor ezek szerint lesz még itt más is. Valami itt van. Aha. Hát tudjátok mint, majd ezeket megcsináljuk. Hát közben van itt még egy. Oké. Hát majd akkor ezeket majd én csinálgatom így menet közben. Úgyis ide kell jönnünk. Oda kéne eljutni. Jó a srácok, szerintem akkor itt hagyjuk abba. Annyit teszek még, hogy eljövök egy olyan pontra, ahol tudunk bármit is csinálni. Maradjon itt. Srácok! Akkor átmegyek erre a másik. Nagyon szépen köszönöm, hogy itt voltatok. Ez iszonyat jó ez a questezés volt, amit beleraktak most a Genshin 4.0-ba. Tök jó ez a fountaines, nyomozgatós quest volt. Még ki kell deríteni, gondolom, hogy jön az Act 3, hogy miért lett bűnös child. Azt szerintem nem tudom, hogy mikor fog érkezni annak a questje. Lehet majd a Phase 2-ben fog érkezni, amikor a panel frissítés jön. Meglássuk. Addig legfeljebb hétfőn fogjuk folytatni a sidequestekkel, a barangászással és fejlődéssel, viszont addig nektek kellemes hétvégét. Hülye vagyok, este még jövünk vissza. Semmi. Este még jövünk vissza a fél hétkor, a Query második részével, majdnem elfelejtettem, úgyhogy még nem köszönök kellemes hétvégét. Este fél hétkor kezdjük a Query második epizódját. Addig is legyetek jók, vigyázzatok magatokra, este találkozunk. Szevasztok!